Today we're going to be creating this two-color Hawaiian turtle decal. Want to find out how? Stick around. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Susan with Blue Vinyl Stickers, and today we are going to do a two-color design. And it seems to be a very popular design these days to go ahead and take a solid design and place words across it. Names, words, dates, anything you want across that single design. So today I have chosen my good old friend, Mr. Turtle. And you can choose a rock, a football, a baseball. It doesn't matter as long as it is a design that you want to put words across. It could be a tent that says camping across it. Doesn't matter. So pick a design that you want to put words on. And before I go any further, I always like to let you know that this is the business edition of the Studio software. So I am going to write the word Hawaii across here. So I'm going to come over here to my text, put it on my screen, and type in the word Hawaii. And I am going to choose a text. I already have one that I like to use, and go ahead and switch it to that text. Now, side note here is remember that when you're choosing a text, the finer the writing is on the text, the finer the vinyl decal is going to be after you cut it out. Now this one right here, I have it pretty large. This is 9 inches, and you're probably going to want to cut this at about 3.5 to 4, maybe 5 at the most. So these letters here are going to get kind of small. So just remember when you're choosing a text to keep that in mind. If it has real fine letters, lines to the letters, that like this one or this one, that those will be very small and very difficult to apply to whatever project that you're working on. So I have chosen one that does not have two final letters, and I know does cut fairly well at a smaller size. So on a side note here, if you look, I'm going to make this bigger for you so you can see. Each of these letters overlaps, and it does that naturally. You don't have to squish them together or pull them apart. It naturally does that. But if you don't weld this together, all of these lines that are overlapped will cut, and you'll end up with little holes in your letters. And you really don't want that. That's not a nice look. So we are going to right mouse click on the design, select weld, and watch what happens to these. The computer automatically just goes ahead and makes them all one nice single piece. But it also makes it all individual. So before you move the design, highlight it all, right mouse click, and say make a compound path. And that will go ahead and make it all one solid piece. So let's get back over here to our design. Make it a color that we all can see. And I want to make this at a 45-degree angle. So I'm going to come over here to my transform window. I am going to my scale window. Oops, not my scale. There we go, to my rotate window. And I'm going to put it up at 45 degrees. Now that's a little bit much for me. I think I want it back just a little bit more like maybe there. That looks good. And it's a little big on the writing, so I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So just adjust it to whatever makes it look nice for your eye. And what I'm also looking at is where it's going to cut. Okay, so that looks good. I mean, let's center it and see what it looks like. That puts it at the center. That's okay. So now the next step is to go ahead and move it off to the side. Don't rotate it. Don't do anything else to it. Move it off to the side and highlight it. Just click on it and highlight it. And we are going to come up here to the offset window and click on it. And it'll make an automatic offset. Now, this looks good, but I want to make it just slightly bigger so I can get rid of some of these dips and all this stuff in here. So we're going to make it bigger. That looks good, and we will modify here with a couple of things. Just a second. And now after I have clicked off of that, it is permanent. You really can't do anything else to it unless you back up and back up. So we're going to grab the word Hawaii and pull it down. And you see there's all these dips and everything in these centers. We want to get rid of all that. So click on it, right mouse click and say release compound path. Make it easy on ourselves. Just drag it up here. Oops, wait a minute. We want to make these joined. So let's do what I said. Go back, back, back. And now this is active again because I went back far enough. So let's go ahead and make it bigger. And let's get those two dots to join. There we go. All right. And back over. Get rid of the word Hawaii. Right mouse click. Release the compound path. Pull everything up there. Highlight all this garbage. Get rid of it. And there we go. Now, I want to take this and make it a color. And you see, when you make it a color, you can see all the dips and everything. I really don't want those dips, but let's see what it does. Okay, if I put it over here, if I don't take those dips out of there, it is going to leave these two pieces. So we can do it one of two ways. I can go in and I can edit the edit points and remove all those, or I can do it this way. And it's a lot simpler just to do it this way. So that's about where I want it to be. Highlight everything here. Come over here to my modify panel and say subtract. Now, what it does is it takes that compound path out and everything is an individual design. As you can see, everything that has a box around it is an individual design. Now, I can take this one and this one and this one and probably this one and get rid of it. Because remember, if you have these little teeny pieces, they're really difficult to weed when you get smaller. I'm going to pull this one over here and drop it into where I had the outline before. And this, now I'm going to take this, I'm sorry, back up one, right mouse click, say make a compound path, because you will be cutting these two separately. So you need them both as individuals. But this here will be your final design. Let's make it a little bit darker so you can see it. This will be your final design. So we're going to right mouse click, highlight it all, right mouse click and say group. We can drag it down to make it whatever size we want it. So I'm going to make this one, let's make this one 4.5 inches tall, 4.5. All right, so now I have it 4.5 inches. And I always set it off to the side to have my master. So I'm going to right mouse click and say duplicate. And I'm going to right mouse click and say duplicate again. And ungroup it. And ungroup it. And this one I'm going to get rid of the word Hawaii. This one I'm going to get rid of the turtle. And there are your two designs that you can go ahead and take to your machine. Cut this one out in black. Cut this one out in red. And then place them together in your favorite way of layering a two-color design. There you have it. There is your two-color knockout design. Nice, quick, and easy. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.